Hey guys, so I got a new deck in the mail and I decided that I wanted to do a love reading today with this deck. So right now we've had a solar eclipse with the new moon, and we also had a lunar eclipse a couple weeks ago. So it is eclipse season, and what that means is a lot of masks are falling down, a lot of secrets are being revealed. So the energies are really interesting right now. And also just with this new deck, I did a sort of interview with my deck. I have a blog post coming up soon about me interviewing my tarot decks, so you'll see more insight into what that means. But with this deck in particular, last night while I was interviewing it, it really wanted to help people release old ties in old failing relationships. So with that said, I thought this would be a perfect time to use my deck for the first time, as also, do a love reading with it. And with that said, I've already cleansed with my Kamaya healing sprays, so let's go ahead and just get into the reading. So I'm so excited about this deck. I had some Amazon credit, so I was excited to finally pick it up. It has been sitting in my wish list for a while. But yeah, I haven't been able to pick it up until recently. Just so you know, some of the images are, there is some like tasteful nudity in it. Anything that is a little bit too extreme for YouTube, I'll go ahead and censor it with my finger or something when I'm showing it to you guys. But yeah, oh my gosh, this deck has been so hard for me to shuffle. Not because, I think it's just because, whenever it's a new deck, it's always hard to get a handle when the cards are just like a little too stiff. All right, I think that is enough. Oh my God, these cards are also hard to pick up. Okay, so let me go ahead and start pulling. There's one. Okay, get a couple more cards before we start. So the first three cards out we have is the World, and then we have a 7 of Chalices in reverse, and then we have a Queen of Swords. So again, these cards are brand new, so they're a little tricky for me to pick up. And also, with every new deck, there is a bit of a learning curve to like get used to the energies when reading from it. So let me just take a second here. So what I'm getting from this is that with this World card, someone was too afraid to admit that you were their world. You were their everything. They saw you in this beautiful light, and you were healing for them, and you were going to bring about like completion to their toxic habits. But they were too worried, and they were still trapped in this player mindset, and they didn't want that. So instead they stayed in the 7 of Chalices energy in the reverse. So instead of getting rid of all their other options and choosing you, they just decided to like run away and stay in their player mindset and just do whatever they want. And because of that, you had to stand firm in your power, and you became the Queen of Swords. You stood up for yourself and what you wanted. You weren't going to let this person mess with your heart anymore, and you moved on. So let's get some more cards. Okay, oh, so we have the Death card here. Okay, so the Death card, and then the Hierophant came out. Let's show you these cards in a second. I just want one more to finish out. Oop, there we go. Oh, that one came flying. All right. So the last one was the Magician in reverse. Okay. So first off, we have the Death card here. So I think with you choosing to stand in your power and, you know, tell this person off, tell them that you won't be treated this way, it really put a death to this certain person that you saw yourself as. If you can see in the background, there's these two people right here, you know, they're like cuddled up behind you. You know, you decided to keep moving forward and not look back anymore. Sorry, my cards are like flying all over the place on my little desk, so I'm just trying to catch them. So, you know, you didn't want to look back anymore. You're closing out this chapter. You knew that it was time for you to move on. You really just, you know, embrace that Queen of Swords energy and just put a death to this heartache that it was causing you. Because, you know, this is your person. They were the Hierophant, but instead of, you know, Hierophant is usually, you know, a marriage or a type of system where it's like, you know, tradition, but your person was rejecting tradition and wanted to stay in this third party player energy. Like maybe there was multiple people that you didn't know about, or, you know, you didn't find out until later that, you know, they didn't just cheat on you with one person. They had been cheating on you all along. And that is something that you know, figured out as you walked away. They had so many other options, even though, you know, they loved you the most and you were their main chick. You decided to like cut everything off. Your person knew that you were the person that they were supposed to be with, but, you know, they had too many options and, you know, they didn't want to, you know, stop and like get out of that mindset. They were too busy, like, you know, trying to party, trying to sleep with as many people as possible before they settled down with you. Which, you know, you were completely right in putting a death to this, standing your Queen of Swords, like, you know, being like cold-hearted and like being a bitch about the situation because you didn't deserve to be treated like that. And lastly, with the Magician in reverse, you know, when you walked away from this person, it really made them angry. Instead of, you know, like moving forward and, you know, reflecting the same type of power that you did when you stood in your power, you walked away, you separated from them. You know, instead, you know, they were partying too much, they were entertaining way too many people, and they were the Magician in reverse. You know, instead of, you know, moving on, trying to become a better person, they stayed in this mindset of like, whatever, I'm a player, and I'm also gonna shove whatever that I'm doing with my life in their face. You know, maybe they would post a lot on social media, or like, you know, whoever they were like dating or talking to would always comment and like on everything they posted. Maybe they posted things together trying to make you jealous. They were definitely this Magician in reverse when you walked away. They wanted to do everything in their power to make you jealous, to like make you come crawling back and begging for them. But instead, they were actually really surprised that you put an end to everything. You put a death to it and you stayed in this powerful Queen of Swords energy. They weren't like expecting that of you, which I personally am really proud of you for doing that. You know, you should never let anyone treat you less than you deserve. You should never settle from any type of energy like this, anyone who mistreats you. And that's absolutely what you should have done. So I personally am proud of you for walking away from this situation. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Three of Swords. Ooh, okay. So with this card, what I'm getting is how, you know, your person cheated on you and you found out, and that's why you ended it. You know, the same thing happened to them. So can you see how there's this person in the background watching? So your person found their person that they left you for actually sleeping around with someone else, and because of that they got their own heart broken, and they pretty much, you know, got a taste of their own medicine. They realize, you know, now that, you know, it's been so much time has passed, and they understand now more how much hurt and pain that they put you through, and now they're feeling guilty about it. Underneath that, we have the Hangman. So now, because of what they put you through, they're kind of stuck. you know, they see you in this whole new light now. You're a whole different person, but they're afraid to move. They're afraid to come towards you because, you know, they really like effed up in the past and they don't know like what else to do about it. But they're really in their feelings. We have the King of Chalices here. They really do want to come in to be able to provide for you, to give you all of their love and everything that you deserved, and to apologize, express so much emotion towards you because they still really love you and they knew they like really messed up and they want to make things right. Because then under that we have the Four of Chalices. So basically, you know, they're getting advice from other people. They knew that they made the wrong choice and they're, you know, not fulfilled anymore in the relationship that they left you for, and they're not fulfilled by the lifestyle that they chose to choose. So now, you know, they're getting the help they need so that they can move on and finally become a better person for you. So with that said, I'm going to get into some love oracles. So I'm going to start with my I'll Never Leave You love oracle deck and see if there's any underlying messages that this person wants to tell you about your connection. Maybe any messages that, you know, they felt in their heart before they left you, but, you know, they didn't actually act upon it. They didn't actually, you know, do right by you. So Spirit, what messages do we have for my collective, from their person? Okay, we have one. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, there we go. All right, thank you, Spirit. So first we have, I love taking pictures of you. So this person, they still have pictures of you on their phone, and they're reminiscing about times where, you know, you went on vacation and things like that, and they took pictures of you either like knowingly or like when you weren't looking. They like actually took pictures of you, you know, just like enjoying like a sunset, things like that. But they're still looking at these pictures and they like really miss spending time with you. Next that came out was, I will always protect you. So I have a feeling that, you know, they lied about you in the past. You know, they made your relationship less than it actually was. They cared about you a lot. And they just like let people like talk shit about you, and they let people, you know, just like really put you down when in their heart, like they wanted to love you. And like now, because they did that to you, they want to make sure that in the future that they will always protect you. Next is, I promise to make it up to you. So again, like, you know, this person knows they did you wrong, and, you know, they really know that they have to work for it in order to get you back. Next I have, I love running my fingers through your hair. They still think about all the times where, you know, they were able to cuddle with you and hold you close, like sniffing the top of your head type of vibes, and like just like enjoying your presence, and, you know, just being able to hold you that close and running their fingers through your hair. And lastly, we have, what's your ring size? So this person, you know, so much time has passed, but they still, you know, they really love you, and they've imagined themselves marrying you. They've imagined the life that they would be able to build together with you. Even if this is something that they've never told you about, that is definitely something that's been on their mind. And lastly, it's, I love the way you see the world. So with that, I feel like your person is definitely still spying on you. You know, they're lurking your social media. They're, you know, asking your friends and family about like how you've been. Even if they're not like directly doing that, like if they still follow your friends and family, or they're still friends with your friends and family on, you know, other social media accounts, they try to look for you through those channels. And, you know, they just see you still glowing, still being so happy, still living such a fulfilling life. And they love that about you. You know, they love the way you see the world, and they hope that one day they can come back into your life and be able to see the world more through your eyes. All right. Let me see. I feel like I want to pull from my secrets deck. So this is my loose leaf tea deck. So Spirit, do we have any underlying secrets that, you know, my collective needs to know regarding why their person chose to, you know, cheat on them, or, you know, chose another party? What underlying secrets are there here that my collective needs to know in order to keep moving on and heal their hearts. Please, Spirit, let us know. Oh, one. Okay. All right, the first one that came out was I'm not over my ex. So this may be something that you already knew about your person. You know, they got their heart broken in the past and they weren't ready to give all of their love to you because they were really hurt by their ex in the past. So that's why instead of committing to you, they decided to remain in this player mindset so that, you know, they wouldn't get their heart broken again. And lastly is, how can I measure up to your ex? So also your person also left you because they know that compared to other people that you've dated in the past, they feel like they don't measure up. Maybe your old people, I feel like they did a background check on them or something. And, you know, people you dated in the past, you know, they make way more money than them. They own homes. You know, they have nice cars, like all these things that would come up on a background check. Or like, you know, just lurking on social media, your person looked up who your ex was, ex or exes. It could have been multiple people, depending on the level of jealousy there is there, you know, and they just felt like they couldn't measure up. And that's another reason why they just decided to just stay in this player mindset, because they knew that they couldn't level up enough to be with you. And lastly, at the bottom of the deck, your success intimidates me. So obviously, you know, this is kind of like all along the same pattern. This is, you know, more confirmation. You are glowing up. You are so successful, and, you know, you bring abundance wherever you go with the decisions you make, with the businesses you're starting, with your current career, and how you're constantly growing and learning and just being the best and, like, you know, making the most out of life for yourself. And that absolutely intimidates them. You know, being with you would definitely be a challenge for them, and, you know, they're not ready to grow up yet, and that's sadly the truth. All right, so that's it, guys. That's it for today's reading. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I've been loving doing these readings so much. I've also been loving doing personal readings with you guys. I love getting to meet you guys, and all that information, if you guys are feeling compelled to book a personal reading with me, is in the down box below. But other than that, I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.